You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Before we take a look at the papers, we're still talking about Arsenal and the future of Mikel Arteta. Our news making the rounds is that perhaps Antonio Conte might just be, taking that job. Of course, it's not official, nothing official yet. Still newspaper speculation. Antonio Conte, Arsenal. What do you make of that marriage if it happens?
I think that would be a fantastic move for Arsenal.
Okay.
Arsenal are a club who in recent times have been very, very passive as regards the defensive side of things. They look like a team that are easily bullied. And if there's one thing we know about Antonio Conte's teams, they are very dogged, they're very resolute. They're formed on a very strong defensive display. They are the kind of teams that you don't like to play against. See what he did with Inter Milan, that back three of Bastoni, Skriniar and Stefan De Vrij, give them the foundation. And he also gets really combative midfielders. Nicolo Barella had a wonderful Euros, and then he's also in there with the likes of Brozovic for Inter Milan. The challenge I have with this is Antonio Conte is a very demanding manager, both on the field and off the field. On the field in the sense that he holds his players to really, really high standards, and then he expects certain things from the board. Antonio Conte is a very player-oriented manager, so when he goes to a club, he needs to buy certain kinds of players to fit into his system. Arsenal, yes, 125 million euros pounds about this summer, but you look at some of those signings, and you scratch your head to find out whether or not they've really made the first team better. Antonio Conte is the kind of manager that wants players that instantly improve the first team. And Arsenal will have to share a lot of money if they're going to get the kind of players that Antonio Conte will want. So I think that might be a sticking point. Also, from what we're saying is that Antonio Conte will be reluctant to take the job if he feels Arsenal are not ready to go to the very top. And we know in this day and age, you need to spend heavy to be able to compete. I mean, just look at how far away Arsenal are from the likes of Manchester City, Liverpool, Man United, and Chelsea. It tells you that they will need a lot of money to close the gap. So ideally, this would be a good signing for Arsenal if it happens. But I'm scratching my head to see how feasible it will be, especially with the track record that Arsenal owners have.
Yes, your summary is that Antonio Conte is a very ambitious manager. I mean, this guy has left the Serie A champions because the owners said they were going to sell a couple of players. I mean, that tells the story, right? So if Arsenal are going to go for this guy, and then they have to be ready to match his ambition. It's well documented. We know his antecedents and all of that. But let's make it clear, Mikel Arteta is in charge of Arsenal. And as it is right now, there's no, his job is safe. Let's put it that way. Yeah, safe in quotes.
Yeah, exactly. As safe as it can get when you've lost the first two games of the season.
So Mikel Arteta still in the saddle for the Gunners, definitely ahead of this weekend's game against Man City. I want to believe that game, the outcome might actually just...
I think if they get a scandalous beating from Manchester City, then a lot of these rumblings will become louder. But if they're able to beat Manchester City, of course, Mikel Arteta buys himself some time. I think even if they lose, but they give in a good performance. I don't think any Arsenal, even the Arsenal owners, I don't realistically think they expect Arsenal to beat Manchester City. They just want to see that the club is going in the right direction and they put up a fight against the defending champions.
Indeed. We'll see how it pans out over the weekend. Let's dive fully into the papers now. We've got three of them, starting with Sporting Life. Of course, the story concerning Mikel Antonio breaking West Ham's record. Is now the top scorer for that club. Club reviews, I had eye surgery. Okay, good to see that your sight is a lot better now, Jurgen Klopp. Arteta, fans to Mikel Arteta, please leave the club. You see what we're saying? These rumblings are going to get louder if they get annihilated by City at the weekend. Arsenal willing to sell Aubameyang. That's a very interesting one. They've not scored any goals this season now. They want to... they're willing to sell their most...
I think the wages is the tricky part there. The fact that Arsenal might be willing to let go of those wages, especially when some other high earners don't seem to get suitors who are interested in taking them, and then he's also on the wrong side of 30.
Yeah, would that not say they made a mistake by giving him that deal in the first place? Because remember that time, Aubameyang was just there, was just chilling, and Arsenal were going all out to make their captain sign this new deal. Giving him the money now. Now they want to get it off the wages after just one season.
I think the challenge is the fact that after signing the contract, his performances have dropped. Because before signing the contract, Aubameyang was arguably the best striker in the league based on performances. And not so long ago, was it 2 or 3 seasons ago, he was the joint highest goal scorer in the league with Salah and Mane. the challenge is very similar to what happened to Ozil. The moment they got that mega money contract, it seemed like their form dropped. Arsenal, unfortunately, are in a sticky situation because Aubameyang is still their best route to goals. Whatever we say, he's still one of the best strikers in the league on his day. Also, if they're going to move him on, I find it difficult seeing any club matching his wages, especially because he's 32. The clubs that potentially can do that will be looking for younger and more exciting strikers.
We read about Barcelona, though, but we know their
financial situation, exactly. So, I mean, recently, Jordi Alba reportedly had to take a pay cut so they can register more players. It's really, really messed up.
Yeah, it's messed up for us now. They might just be stuck with Aubameyang going forward. Still on Sports in Life, battles against Liberia and Cape Verde. Eagles list out today. Players get letters of invitation. It'll be very interesting to see the composition of this short list when it comes out. Let's move over to Complete Sports now. 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Iheanacho and Ndidi. 6 others doubtful for Cape Verde tie. I wonder what the reason is. Okay, there's the issues about the coronavirus where the British government stands on quarantine rules. What do you make of that one?
I mean, you can understand that certain countries are in the red zone for the UK, meaning if their players go to those countries, they'll have to quarantine for 10 days. And you can understand the clubs will not want. I was seeing the situation of Salah potentially will not be allowed to go to Egypt. He'll be able to play against Gabon because Gabon is on the amber list, but he won't be allowed to go to Egypt. Because he'll have to quarantine. And Liverpool already knew they were losing for the Nations Cup in January. So as many games as they can play right now. So we might get to see situations where a lot of countries who have Premier League stars do not have their full strength squad because their own country is on the red list. Unfortunately, maybe you have to make do with what you have, but this might just be a chance for some other names flying under the radar to stay clear.
Yeah, spot on. We'll see how that develops over the coming weeks. Still on Complete Sports, Spalletti is talking and says Osimhen deserved the red card he got over the weekend against Venezuela. What do you make of that? Yesterday, Oye was like, that's a bit harsh.
If I was the referee, I wouldn't have given a red card. It wasn't malicious. We see a lot of tugging going on in the box, and then especially when it's a corner, and then the attacker is trying to get an advantage of the defender, or the defender is trying to steal a match on the attacker. A yellow card would have been fine. If I was the referee, I would have given it as a yellow card. Unfortunately, it just seems like Osimhen's Napoli career has been stop-start. There was COVID, there was the injury, then there was COVID, then there was when he traveled out of Italy and then he had to quarantine and he missed a few games. I just want him to have a steady run of games, maybe like 15 straight games where there is nothing. Hopefully, after he saves the suspension, he can go on and have a really, really nice career because Napoli paid a whole lot of money to sign him.
The record transfer. So they need him to start delivering. The goals are for them in Naples. Awoni, Union Berlin, work in progress. Union Berlin have had a decent start to the season. Thanks to Taiwo Awoni, 4 goals already in this season.
Some assists too. He's growing as a player, and hopefully he can find that consistency. And because the Bundesliga is a very, very, very good league for young players.
For young players, indeed. For someone who's been on loan 7 times, was high time to get a permanent home, and we're starting to see the benefits of that now. Makai Hills Aribo, that's the Rangers manager right there. Buhari Hills, record-breaking Nigeria's under-20 athletes. That's very interesting as well. They deserve all of the praise and encomiums they're getting at the moment. Last paper is Sporting Sun. Napoli coach warns Osimhen after red card. It's got to relax. And, it's got to relax. Let's leave it at that. What else do we have here? Real to rival PSG for Pogba. This story is not going anywhere. It's going to rumble on and on and on until this guy signs a new deal with City. Right. CR7 available for just £25 million.
I'm sure Juventus will not smile at that. I think they will knock they will knock it back. £25 million for Ronaldo, they won't take it.
All right, City makes final push for Kane this week. I'll put you on the spot on this one as well. At the end of the transfer window, where will Harry Kane be playing?
Spurs.
Really? You didn't even think twice about that?
Daniel Levy is extremely stubborn. I might be wrong, and I genuinely hope I'm wrong for Harry Kane's sake that he gets that move. But so late in the transfer window with 7 days left, even if Daniel Levy was considering selling Harry Kane, he probably wanted to sell him earlier so he can get a replacement. It's just 7 days. And what has been making the rounds is that £150 million is what will get Harry Kane sold to a team outside England. Levy has been insisting that he would not sell to another English club. So close to the end of the deadline, except maybe Harry Kane goes on strike. He made an appearance against Wolves. If he decided not to play, maybe he could have forced the hand of Spurs. But I think come 1st of September, he'll still be at the Tottenham Stadium.
Wow.
Let's see, though.
Damiloju going out on the limb on the future of Harry Kane. We'll see how it pans out at the end of the summer transfer window. Dami, thanks for coming on the show. It was a great one.
It's always a pleasure to be on Sports this morning.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for watching as well. So enjoy the rest of your day. Try and join us again tomorrow if you can. I am Tayo Salam.